When someone asks you to help road trip their 2 old BMWs across Thailand, you get on a plane. We've got an E30 that's been engine swapped with an SR20 DET, and we've got an E36 that's been engine swapped with a V8 1UZ. I'm filming this intro a few days into the trip, and it's been an adventure. We've just come out to get on the road this morning, and there's a huge puddle of oil underneath the E36. I don't think we're going to make our final destination, but we should be able to get back to Bangkok, which is a long way away. Still 1 car down. Probably some gearbox issues. Fuel just went absolutely everywhere. And no brake lights. Because I don't think there's any boost. The car had no oil in it. Definitely on the sketchy side of safe. We are starting in Bangkok, where we're picking up the cars. Then we're heading up to Buriram to catch the last of the Thailand Super Series GT3 and GT4 racing. That'll be the initial shakedown to see if we can take these cars most of the way back down the country to where they live in Koh Samui. So we're at the pin where we're supposed to be collecting the cars, and the wheels are here, the cars aren't here, and someone's not answering their phone. So we're not exactly sure what we're gonna do. We've finally heard word. One of the cars is at the body shop and should be ready later today. And the other car is at the mechanics, and we can go and pick it up now. So we're gonna get a grab, and I think we're picking up the E30. So the E30 with the 2-litre turbo engine swap is ready to pick up. So we're gonna go and pick that up and then come back later for the E36. So
wish us luck.
Yeah, wish us luck. So we took a grab to a Japanese turbo specialist shop, and we've managed to find one of the cars. Let's go check it out. So this is the E30 that's had a 2-litre turbo swap. 20 DET, I believe. Because this place specialises in old Japanese turbocharged engines, they actually have one of my all-time favourite cars, which is the old EK Civic, and it's also in my favourite colour. I'll show you around. As I'm editing this video, I thought it may be best to add a bit more context. So my friend Ben, who lives in Koh Samui in Thailand, bought 2 old BMWs a couple of years ago. Both of them have continuously been in the workshop with engine issues, and he decided that he wanted to do an engine swap on both of them. He shipped them to Bangkok, used a local expert to orchestrate the engine swaps with local garages, and we're picking up the story when the cars are done and ready to be brought back home to Koh Samui. So we've made it out of the garage in the E30. How does it feel?
It's still running.
It's still running. All right, and we've made it further down the road than we thought we was going to. We've got 17 minutes to get to where we're staying. So I don't think we're going to get on it right now. And I think if we just make it the 18 kilometers we're going, we're going to be pretty happy for the first run. But it's small wins. It's working, which is good. But we're still 1 car down. So for the road trip, let's see if we can get the other one up and running. We're on the toll road and everything seems to be working. We've done a couple of little pulls and nothing's broken yet. Definitely choo-choo noises. Gotta love turbo engines. So we made it to the condo, keeping good company with the old Merc. It doesn't feel like 250 horsepower. It's supposed to be around 250, but it doesn't really feel like it. It doesn't feel like the turbo's really spooling up. It feels very naturally aspirated, but it's performing well. We did a few runs, a few pulls, everything feels good, clutch feels good, diff feels good. It just feels like it's a bit lacking on power. We're having dinner with the guy, sort of the brainchild behind the build tonight. So we're going to ask him about the ECU, see if we can do any logging. Maybe there's a boost leak, although it's not going into a limp mode, but I don't know if it's running off a piggyback ECU, whether there even is a limp mode, or there's definitely a map sensor and a MAF sensor. So the information's going somewhere, but we're not sure where. But maiden voyage done and dusted, and did well, if a little underpowered. But if the power's low, but it survives the road trip, then we'll take it. Because the car's running slow, we've decided to go to a local tuning shop and buy a boost gauge, because we don't know what boost the car's running at all. We guess it should be running about 10 psi for like a standard RB20 boost pressure. I don't think it has a tune in it or anything, so we're going to head to the performance shop, see if they can pop a boost gauge in, and then we'll report back what level of boost we're running. This is a temporary installation, which is why we're putting it so close to here. Have you got the T-piece? Just checking to make sure it fits first. It does, so that's good. I don't think that's coming off.
Doesn't fit at all?
It's on, but whether the boost, I don't think the boost will be able
to... Pop it right off?
I don't know if it will, because I don't think there's any boost. I think it'll be alright.
If it pops off, it's a good sign.
Yeah, if it pops off, it's a good sign.
Turn on and see what we get.
Let's see what we get. Same. That's weird, hey? Turn the car on, and then it slowly draws vacuum, so which makes me think that there's not much vacuum. If I suck on the tube, it's instant. Maybe this is why we don't have any boost. We couldn't get a good vacuum reading with the boost gauge, and the boost gauge isn't showing boost when we're going. So we think there is a leak in the vacuum system. Although the car seems to be running and the fueling seems to be okay, which is a bit strange, as the vacuum system runs the fuel pressure regulator. We're going back to the shop where we picked the car up from so they can have a look at it, and we've also now hit Bangkok rush hour traffic. But the good news is the other car has new tyres and is getting the wheel swapped and should be delivered to us later today. So should. So if this car is a no-go, maybe we can try our luck with the other car. But the clutch seems to be a little funny in this one now. So
keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, keep the fingers crossed. As you can see, we're back at the shop, and they actually found the issue. The issue was to do with the back system, as we thought. And instead of a split hose, it was actually, there was gunk or some kind of residue built up in the hoses, which was stopping it all from producing quick vacuum and then producing any boost. So they've actually changed a lot of the back system now, which I'll show you here. So they've actually run new vacuum line now into the cabin, so that gets rid of the cheap stuff that came with it. And it was up here that was the issue. So this is the section where the vacuum system comes off the intake manifold, and that was all apparently clogged up. And the guys are now doing a temporary install on the boost gauge, just so we can run it for the time being until we get back to my friend's house, where we're going to 3D print a housing for it. But at least this means we'll be able to see what boost we're running, and also they've wired it in so the lights work. So it's very difficult to see without the lighting. Also keen to see is whether the boost leak was affecting the fueling system, and that's why we thought it was a bit underpowered and wasn't coming on boost. Because that line runs to the fuel pressure regulator, it may have been affecting the fueling. So we're going to wait for these guys to finish up because they need to close the shop. Then head back to the accommodation we've got for tonight, and hopefully on the way back we should have a car that's working better and producing boost. The other car, the E36, is now on its way to our accommodation as well. The brainchild of these two projects is going to meet us there, and we're going to try and get some food with him and pick his brain on everything about these two cars. AC is working.
Most importantly,
Boost gauge is working.
you know, modern cars with the backup cameras have spoiled me so much.
Yeah, it does help, especially when you get. I'm sure in your. I'm sure in your new electric car you have 360.
God, you have, like, cameras everywhere.
Okay, we've just got on the toll road so we can actually test the car and see what kind of boost we're getting. The vacuum seems to be showing very quickly, which is good. And we did hit a little bit of boost when we was in traffic, but we should see 10 psi. Let's go. I think I saw 8, so that's most of it.
Yeah.
So 8 psi boost. We was expecting around 10, but 8 is better than 0. Still feels a bit slow.
Yeah.
It still doesn't feel like.
Is it faster than before? I think so.
I think a little faster, yeah.
It's a bit more push now.
It's a bit more. But I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. So it's really.
And it's not. You hear that? It's not making the.
Yeah,
anymore.
which was the compressor surge.
Yeah.
So we're pretty sure the dump valve wasn't working at all, and all we was hearing was compressor surge. But that's coming up at like 5,000 RPM, which is quite high. It seems to really start pulling at 5, which I would think.
It has this VVTi, whatever it's called.
Oh, okay, and that comes in at around 5.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so maybe
it
that's.
changes the valve timing.
So maybe
5,000 RPM, I think.
Maybe
that's why I get that extra pull.
Okay, what we should do is slow down in third gear. Try and get third gear at like 2,000 RPM. We might have to go. That is very slow.
That's very slow.
And then we'll floor it at 2,000 RPM, which should be out of the boost range.
It's very slow.
It's very slow.
Okay.
Okay, and then we should be way out of boost, and then
No.
right, yeah, floor it right. So no boost.
Boost coming.
Boost come in.
And then here.
Yeah, then there's the
That's it.
VVTi. Yeah. What's weird?
Okay.
The boost comes in really early. I think really early. That boost went up almost instantly.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is what-
it's a smallish turbo,
Just-
right?
yeah,
So
very small.
Boost should come in at 2.5.
2.5.
3.
Yeah. I think we almost
And
went.
then it kicks at 5,
Yeah.
5.5. The VVTi
Yeah.
kicks
The
in.
V-
So I
you
think
know-
that's what we're noticing.
Yeah, you notice the VVTi more than the turbo actually. Cool. Okay. Well,
It works. I think it's faster than it just was.
I think it was. Yeah. I think we had a fueling issue.
Now we just need to see how we get it back to 10.
Yeah. Well,
10 PSI.
it did creep up to 9 there, I think. So
Okay.
it's not that far off.
Yeah.
It's not that far off. Right. Back to the accommodation, and we'll try and meet up with the guy that has kind of orchestrated all of this. So it's the next day, and the E36 did get delivered, and we'll do a walk around of that car later. But we both went to get fuel, and we filled up the E30, and fuel just went absolutely everywhere. So we're back at the shop. The guys are taking a look. They think it's an easy fix because on top of the fuel tank there's a plate, and apparently that's really common for it to leak. So as you fill up the tank and the filler hose kind of gets topped up, that will all drain out as it seeps past this cap. So let's see if they can fix it, and when we get out of Bangkok, the Bangkok traffic is insane, we'll do a good walk around of the cars and maybe do an intro and explain a little bit more about what we're doing on this trip, and if we're even going to make it, because we are talking about possibly leaving the cars in Bangkok to get a little bit more work done. We were waiting for the E30 to be fixed. We noticed that the fan for the AC on the E36 wasn't working. So I've been sitting here for the past hour or so, completely rewiring the AC fan. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but essentially that's all new because the connector that was originally there was just kind of fell apart, and also there was no fuse in the fuse box for it. Okay, the connector's gone, but as I found the connector for the fan and then started looking at it, it just crumbled in my hand. So my guess is the fuse was taken out because it kept popping fuses because that connector was knackered, and it was just overlooked as the car was put back together. So this should now work with AC. The AC fan is now fixed and has a new connector, although we should probably put a watertight proper connector on it, but it's currently got spade connectors on it, heat shrink and insulating tape. So E30 is fixed, E46 is fixed. Let's see if we can actually get out of Bangkok. With both cars now fixed, we set the sat-nav to Buriram, about 6 hours away, to catch the last round of the Thailand Super Series. Little did we know this was going to be quite an eventful trip. So we're about an hour outside of Bangkok. We thought we'd visit another garage. So the issue we had is we checked the oil on the E36 after it got delivered, and stupidly didn't check it before we left, and there was no oil registering on the dipstick at all, which got us worried. And we can't get hold of the guy that kind of orchestrated everything, did the engine swaps. So we thought, is this the wrong dipstick? We rocked the car backwards and forwards, just tried to get a little bit on the bottom, and we couldn't. So we drove it to the nearest garage, which was literally just down the road, and we drained the entire oil pan out, and it looks like it did have oil in it, which is good. But we're going to put 5 litres in and see if it registers on the dipstick, and once those 5 litres are in, we're going to take the old canister, measure the oil that came out and see how much came out. It doesn't look like loads came out, but it's deceiving because it's gone into a massive jug. But we've deliberately got it extracted into a separate container so we can measure it. Okay, so we measured the oil that came out, and it's about 3.5 litres. And this engine normally takes between 4.8 and 5.8. One thing we're concerned about is if the dipstick is the right dipstick. So what we've done is we've put roughly the recommended amount of oil in on the low end until we could see it on the, and then we could just about see it on the bottom of the dipstick. So that makes us think maybe the dipstick is the right dipstick. So we filled it up until it's sort of just in the minimum range. And then we're going to run the car, head further closer to Buriram, and then we can check again, compare photos and see if it's burning oil. Right, let's crack on and try and make some headway to Buriram. We haven't made it very far due to a road closure. So we've just taken a pit stop at a PTT. Got one of the classic Thai buses in the background. The E30's been fine, but probably some gearbox issues. The E36 has been good, and we've just adjusted the headlight because we went through a bit of a rainstorm and it was very cross-eyed. We're just going to get some tissue to check the oil, and then we'll report back on. I think we've done about 80 Ks now since we found that the car had no oil in it. So we'll be able to see how much oil is burning over 80 Ks. And it's not burning oil, so we're not sure why there was only 3.5 litres instead of 5.5 litres in there. Maybe just missed by the shop, we're not sure. But the headlights are also out on the E36, which we've now just changed. And we really didn't want to be driving in the dark because both of these cars don't have very good headlights. So now we've got 3 hours.
A good 3 hours.
Yeah,
left.
a good 3 hours left in the dark, in the rain, with no headlights. So we're going to be in Buriram late, and we told everyone we'd be there by the afternoon. Right, we'll give you another update in about another hour and a half. I think we'll probably stop one more time before we get to Buriram. So we didn't get too far down the road. We're at another PTT station, and the E46 doesn't have any brake lights now, and one of the tail lights kept going in and out, and I think we fixed the tail light. That was just down to a loose connection. The way these BMW tail lights work is questionable. So yeah, no brake lights. We've bridged the switch under the dash to see if it was the brake switch. It's not. So there's something else wrong. The fuse was blown though for the brake lights. So we've replaced that, but it's not blowing again. So a bit confused. So we've got about 2 hours, 45 minutes in the dark between rain and no brake lights. So see if we can get any closer to Buriram. I'll guess where we are. Another PTT, probably 50 k's down the road. I can't remember what the update was last time, but essentially the brake lights on the E36 weren't working. We stripped everything down, cleaned all the terminals on the bulbs, checked the switch, bridged the switch, nothing was working. As soon as he started driving the car and pulled out, instantly started working. So we're not entirely sure what was wrong. We think there's probably some black magic with BMWs where the engine has to be running or it has to be in a certain position in the ignition. The only thing we didn't try before we left was having the engine running and trying the brake lights, but they're now working. I think we was both getting a little bit down about it, and it was definitely getting a bit dangerous with the rain, it being dark, bad headlights, and then no brake lights. It was definitely on the sketchy side of safe, but we've pulled over mainly now to adjust the headlights on the E46. They were too dipped, whereas before they were way up. So we dipped it down, but it was kind of dusk, and now it was just, you couldn't see enough. So we've upped those, and at the moment the E46 isn't burning oil, all the lights are working, and we're about an hour and 45 minutes outside of Buriram. So I'll update you probably another 100 k's down the road when we're at the next PTT with the next issue. So we made it to the hotel in Buriram. There wasn't really any more issues. Once we got back on the road, we discovered that when fixing the brake lights, we have disturbed the near side rear indicator. That's not too much of an issue. And also the headlights are now up too high, but because the bulbs are so bad, it didn't really, wasn't really dazing anyone, so we just cracked on and did a good 2 hour stint and made it here. Picked up our passes for the race tomorrow. Our friends that are driving are already in bed because we are here at 11 p.m. when we told everyone we was going to be here at 4 p.m. So bit of a day, and we're both absolutely knackered, and it's an early start because GT4 qualifying, which one of our friends is racing in, starts at 9:30, and we need to get to the track, so it's probably a 6 a.m. alarm. So we'll probably won't film too much at the racing. We'll just try and enjoy the racing. That's not really what this blog is about, but we'll definitely put some clips in so you can see how the weekend progressed and how our friends did it in the race. And then it'll be Buriram back to Bangkok, which I think, touch wood, should be a little less eventful, as we've really sort of shaken down the cars now, and they seem to be running really well. So I'll catch you in the morning. So we've just come out after the race weekend to road trip back to Bangkok, because we're definitely not making it back to Suratani Koh Samui. And there's a huge patch of oil under the E36, but the dipstick is showing that we haven't burnt any oil at all. So I don't know if it looks worse than it is, because it's been a lot of rain. But there's definitely a leak. There's drips coming off the sump. But I don't think it's going to stop us making headway. If we hadn't have seen the oil patch, we would have checked the oil this morning and we would have thought it was exactly the same. So, right, it's now 8 a.m. We're going to head back to Bangkok and see if we can get there before it gets dark. Fuel is very low. We're actually trying to run this car empty. We've got a jerry can in the back, because every time we fill the car up, we can only put like 30 litres or so in it. So there's definitely something wrong with the fuel gauge. And since it's been showing empty, I've done almost 100 Ks. And since the needle's been off the back of the dial, I've done 60 Ks. So I'll keep you updated of when we're on the side of the road filling up with fuel, and hopefully the fuel system doesn't mind too much. We've we've now done 150 Ks plus since the fuel gauge was off the bottom of the end, so we definitely know there's a lot of fuel left over in reserve, and we'll try and get the guys to recalibrate the fuel sender. But we've decided to not run it dry, and we're just going to go and fill it up at the next station, because we wanted to see how far we could make it. But we was thinking maybe it's 100 Ks, maybe it's 150, but the fact that we're pushing 200 Ks off the bottom of the dial, if it's 250, an extra 50 Ks, it's not going to give us much more information. Okay, so we made it to the fuel station and we managed to get 53 litres in, and we think it's a 55 litre tank, so we must have been very close to running out, but thankfully we didn't run out and we got some good data. Currently, touch wood, both cars are running fine. They are going to go back to Bangkok. We're not going to do the full trip back to Suratani. They both have some issues that need fixing, and I think Ben wants to get some body work done as well. So we've just pulled over, met back up with Dan, the guy that was racing GT4 yesterday, and managed P2. So catch up with him, have a coffee, and we're about halfway back to Bangkok. So we'll probably stop one more time for coffee. There's a nice coffee shop on a lake. We'll stop there, and hopefully this trip back to Bangkok will be far less eventful, but at least the trip there was good content. Also, we filled up the E30 completely to check that seal had been properly installed and no waterfalls were coming out of the fuel tank. So that serious safety issue is taken care of. That's one thing we have been concerned about, and another thing we wanted to check as part of the trip. But filled up, no leaks, so on to the next issue. We've just finished our coffee stop halfway back to Bangkok, and I've jumped in the E36 for the first time. Completely different car. The V8 is very different to the SR20 DET from a driving perspective, as well as a sound. Inside the E36 is way quieter. In the E30 I have to have headphones in, but this is a fantastic car for sitting on the highway. I'm doing 100 Ks and I'm at 2000 RPM, whereas the E30 is 3,300 at 100 Ks. As Ben lives on an island where you're never doing 100, it's probably geared quite well for the island. And it's fun, you can smash through the gears really quickly. E30 for the island, I think, and then longer trips, the E36. It's still very stiff. Feels like the tracking might be a little out. It's a bit darty. I'm sure Ben can get that looked at when the cars go back to Bangkok. Just stopped another PTT for some food, and the engine oil on the E36 is fine. Touch wood, no other problems so far, so we've got an hour left until Bangkok. We've got a quick pit stop on the way, so I'll update you when we get back to Bangkok. So we're back at RP2. These are the guys that did the engine swap on the E30. The E36 is behind me. That's going to get picked up and taken to the garage that did the V8 swap. I think the sensible thing is leaving these cars in Bangkok. We had a really rough trip up to Buriram, but almost an eventless trip back from Buriram, which is good. It's hard to get work done on Samui for unique cars such as old BMWs with engine swaps, so it's the right decision to leave them here. So a couple of months, we'll come and pick the cars up, and then we'll do the road trip down to Samui. But I think this has probably been the best content, because picking them up and them not working, and then coming backwards and forwards to garages and breaking down on the road and things not working, and the rain and the weather, and yeah, I think the highlight content has definitely already happened, but we'll see. These cars are renowned for breaking down, especially since Ben's owned them. So 2 months, we'll do maybe a 1 week trip through some back roads from Bangkok to Samui, and we'll bring you along. So what was your highlight of the trip?
Making it back.
Yeah, I think so.
making it back against all odds.
Yeah, the cars did really well, but I think the sensible choice was not taking them to Samui now.
Yeah.
I think
It's also very predictable, I think.
yeah,
That much work done on cars like that,
Yeah.
they're not going to run perfect from day one. So
yeah,
good test, Buriram and back.
a
They
perfect
survived.
test. They did
Fixed a lot of little
yeah,
things.
Yeah,
The bigger stuff they will fix now, and then 2 months. We'll
2
come
months
back
road
and
trip back.
Episode 2.
Episode 2, yeah, but definitely the best choice leaving them here, and the fact that we fixed so much on the way up to Buriram, I think it's good that they made it back from Buriram. We was quite confident when we got to Buriram that maybe everything was kind of sorted. We'd done enough miles and had enough issues to kind of get to know the cars a little bit. But yeah, straight back. We booked our flights for tomorrow, thinking we may not make it back at a reasonable time today, and we did. So now we've got an evening in Bangkok. But yeah, stay tuned for part 2, Bangkok to Samui. This is actually the first time I've ever vlogged anything. And the reason I wanted to start the vlog was because I knew these cars and what we were doing was going to create good content. So I've got a bike trip, a 3-week motorcycle trip across northern Thailand coming up in a few weeks. So I may vlog that. That's with another friend that's flying in. We'll probably road trip these cars another month after that. Then I've got a bike trip in Malaysia coming up, and then snowboarding in Japan. So I've got a lot going on over the next few months, and it's been quite enjoyable to do the vlog and also look back on the content that we made of an evening. So comment down below if you think I can improve anything. I'm sure I can, and I'm sure as I'm editing this I will realize what I need to improve. Anyway, if you could subscribe, help the channel grow, that would be fantastic, and we'll see you in a few weeks on the bikes. Do you have a list for the cars of outstanding issues? So I think we just realised there was something else to add, but I can't remember what it was. Alright, so E30, fix gearbox issues because of the grinding, eliminate knock on the hard launch, eliminate driveline chatter, fix the speedo which broke, a manual boost controller potentially, plus a tune, adjust the hood alignment, but we can always do that. Glue back the BMW shift knob if possible. See, I really like the knob that's on there.
You like it?
I really like
Really?
that. Yeah, I really like that.
It feels good.
It feels nice.
But
yeah.
I thought the BMW looked better, more OEM.
Yeah, more OEM, but it's
stuff.
not very OEM car. Like I think that I like that.
Yeah.
I like that shift knob.
Maybe
Yeah.
we keep it.
Fix power rear windows, boost gauge, clean install. Yeah, we can do that. I think it might be best if we do that.
Really?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
because then we can put it exactly where we want it, and we can 3D print a proper shroud for it. Because you know, finishing work I think is probably best left for us to do. Install AC RPM cutoff. Yeah, that'd be handy. Fix the radio head unit placement. Wire the cigarette lighter to ignition. Get a spare key. Check exhaust clearance, although probably not able to do that. Get a smaller steering wheel, possibly a Momo, maybe a quick release. That'd be very race car.
Yeah.
Possibly a small exhaust leak. Yeah, it does sound like it's blowing a little bit as you come up the res,
Yeah.
and then AC is very weak. But yeah, that'll be an interesting one to fix. And then E36, eliminate vibration at 100 to 120. Yeah, I definitely felt that.
Felt that, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. In fact,
Probably add the tracking issue to that as well.
yeah, and get the car retracked. 4-wheel alignment. It definitely feels wallowy. I think when it was sort of weaving between cars, you'd change lane, and then as it kind of settled, it kind of felt like it wasn't really. New front left wheel bearing. Oh, did you notice something on the wheel bearing issue?
It's a bit.
Oh, is it?
It's a bit loose, yeah.
Okay, cool. Fix the remote key central locking. Make an exhaust. And then yeah, fix the paintwork, roof, front right fender, etc. Fix the bulb. Install AC RPM cutoff as well. Is there an exhaust leak on the E36 as well?
You can hear it. That's
E36.
louder than the E30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fix the Bluetooth microphone. Make sure all power windows work. Fix the rear left tin. Cigarette lighter to ignition, and check random shut off at idle.
Have you had that at all when you're driving it?
No, I haven't had that. The clutch is heavy on that car.
Yeah.
The gearbox is quite nice though. Oh, what about the gear knob? The gear knob is very loose on
Yeah.
that. Yeah. There was something else that just came to mind when we was going through that list. Indicators, or the lights in general.
don't
Yes.
have that here.
Especially the rear passenger side, because that is, every time I indicate to go that way, I'm always thinking is everyone just thinking I'm not indicating?
Yeah.
But it's all kind of minor. It's not
Small
replace
stuff.
conrod, you know, it's not
Yeah.
set the valve clearances or you know, anything serious. It's all minor issues.
On the E36, I think it's really all minor.
Yeah.
I think that's just an idle adjustment.
Yeah.
Bring the idle up a little bit.
Yeah.
The rest is really electrical stuff, but minor stuff, paint. Now this one's pretty. I don't know what the tracking issues, the wheel bearing.
Yeah.
The vibration is just new wheels, I think, or they have to fix the wheels we have.
It may never have had an alignment. I mean, they wouldn't, doing the engine swap, they wouldn't have aligned. They wouldn't have done an alignment.
Check the exhaust is easy to do. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Open it up a little
Yeah,
bit more.
it sounds good, but it's very quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are easy. I think the E30 ones are, because of the gearbox.
The gearbox is a big one, yeah. And then you need to
Driveline
think
chatter.
whether you want to change the final drive as well.
Yes. We put that in as well.
But then, are you really going to do long trip? I mean, the fuel economy seems to be really good.
It's not bad,
it's
yeah.
really geared nicely for the island.
I'll put a question mark.
Yeah. Or maybe if they're going to have to strip the gearbox down, maybe there's an option to just change fifth gear, so it's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because 4,000 RPM at 120 is it's high.
Yeah, it's very. It's really short gearing. Yeah. I need to think about the LSDs also.
Yeah.
If those are locking enough, or
Yeah.
on this one, I don't know. This one might be all right.
Yeah.
I think it's more on the E36.
It'll probably be a case of get all this stuff done. We do the second part of the road trip, back down to Samui, and then more.
It might be that they can just switch out the diffs.
Maybe
and there's not a big price difference.
Yeah.
So it'll be cheap.
Worst
Very
case.
disappointed when Sandy.
Yeah.
Sandy was really excited about it.
Yeah.
And then he tried taking it sideways, and he was like, "Oh, no, doesn't want to.
Open
Doesn't
diff.
want to go."
Weird.
No. He thought it was open, but I told him it's locking, but it's a very
loose lock,
25% kind of lock, so
yeah.
it wasn't enough. In dry tarmac, it wasn't enough to really properly.
I mean, you've
put
got
it
grippy
sideways.
tyres on there as well, so
That's true.
maybe we'll try it again in the wet.
Oh, in the wet's no
In the wet's,
no
yeah.
issue.
I've seen you sideways in my rearview mirror. So.
Carry speed 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, and 12 make up the complicated sector number 3, 4.5 kilometers, 12 turns, and realistically, it's a lot of
This is our
straight
friend
line
Daniel.
speed.
He is racing with Racing Aurora. They've actually gone through 3 cars this season. They started off in a Mercedes, then had a Porsche, and now they have a Toyota Supra. He had 2 races this weekend. He came 3rd in the first race and 2nd in the second race. And as you can see, he suffered quite substantial damage on the second race. Another trophy to add to his extensive collection. We then joined the GT3 racing. We're supporting Sandy and Henk in the 911 Be Quick. They also run an Audi R8 in GT3 and a Cayman in the GT4. This is the second race where Sandy is starting.
Have a look at Sandy Stuvik. He's going to try and go the long way round in the Porsche. And the Be Quick Absolute Racing Porsche at turn 9. Oh, on the marbles, on the dirty stuff. Van Dam's going to trade some paint up through 10 and 11.
So this is the pit stop where Sandy's coming out and Henk's going in. And as you can see, everyone gives the drivers a wide berth when they get out of the car. I think they're probably still in the zone. So Sandy has finished his GT3 race and now is racing the Ford. Good luck, buddy. Cool, we'll be watching.
A very compressed field. Nothing that we know of to stop the number 3 of Sandy Stuvik. Watch for the body language on this one for everything that Aurora Ford Thailand Racing have put in.
So this is the first time Ford have won a race